They tryna turn Trenton into Baby Flint. Been signs by depression on the billboards ever since. 100 years ago we was lynched. Now they use germ warfare to kill us. I'm convinced, got the evidence. I look around and it's evident. Then go down to City Hall and see so much negligence. Real art is intelligent. A true artist sends messages that speak to your intelligence. They fought and died so I can do my thing. Not to get drunk and high or join no game. I will not let none of you die in vain. For my people I bang, bang, bang. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. They say post-traumatic slavery disorder's fake, but I just tell them all to wake up. Everything we went through, what a way down a rape, bro. Isn't our genetic makeup. So I am my ancestors from block to block. Let's build like it's Tetris. We must unite, link up like a necklace. They fought and died and we disrespected. So I come to correct it. The legacy they left I protected. We only think about self and neglected. You're African but yet you rejected. No. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. I do. I go.
Peace, salam alaikum, peace and blessing,
Assalamu
everybody.
alaikum. Woo-hoo-hoo. We're back.
Okay, all right. New Freedom Exchange here, your source for cultural exchange, social dignity through community empowerment. I'm your host, one-year host, Imam Bilal Hassan, with
Assalamu alaikum. Sister Marsha here. Excited for today's show. I came representing. I came stunting, y'all.
This time, Sister Marsha came prepared, as you see.
I came prepared. My t-shirt, my throwback. This ain't no new joint. This probably like a 2002.
It doesn't matter because guess what? It's all love at the end of the day. We're happy to be here with you all. As I'm saying, on this beautiful Saturday. Hope everyone is having a blessed Saturday where you are. And hopefully, everyone is in good spirits and of course, in good health. And inshallah, God willing, Creator willing. Ameen. Amen. Sister Marsha, how are you doing? What's up?
Pretty good. I got a new car today, guys.
Oh, okay.
Finally.
All right.
Finally. I did not want to drop those coins, though. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was like, wait, no, my account, hold on. But it's alhamdulillah. I needed it. So I finally found something.
A used joint?
Yeah, it's used. It's a 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe. So it's cute. She's cute. I like her. My kids like her. So she gonna do for the moment, which is good. My car, my original car, was actually totaled in March. The axle had broke. So I've been on a struggle bus since March. But alhamdulillah.
That's good.
How about you, Bilal? How's your weekend been thus far?
So far, so good. Busy Saturday. So started out at the farmers market in Laurelton, Queens. Volunteered today, this morning to help set up. And then after that, I went to the Battle of the Bands HBCU edition out of Brooklyn, down at Restoration Plaza in the heart of Bedford-Stuyvesant and Bed-Stuy. Do or die. Hosted by New York City Councilman, actually the world's tallest politician, believe it or not, Robert Carnegie Jr., who is a member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He did not attend HBCU, but he did put together a very successful event. Him and his team. They had high school bands out performing. We had the fraternity sororities do their strolling.
Nice.
We had a DJ, live DJ. We had the Attorney General from New York State, Tish James, who is a Howard University graduate, by the way.
Okay.
Yes, I'm saying. So she
Y'all ain't ready today. Y'all ain't ready today.
That's right. So that she spoke. She came out and spoke, said a few words. There was some HBCUs tabling with information about their specific HBCU. My organization, the HBCU Hub Incorporated, we were out also tabling with our resources for high school students to join for HBCU Hub University. Nice. And we got new shirts, as you see. I have the new shirts. That. Wearing the new shirt today. Wearing our new shirts. We got a new tablecloth, et cetera, et cetera. So it was just overall good experience. We don't have homecoming this season. And it's good to see.
It's so weird, right?
Yeah, it's good to see other alums. We're trying to enjoy the moments. Even though it's not homecoming, try to recreate it. I know you can't recreate the feeling, but like
you cannot recreate the yard at all.
Can't recreate the yard, and I feel for the students who are first year HBCU students who are not getting the true HBCU experience.
Right.
I guess we'll talk about that, as in this beautiful exchange that we have tonight. But I know we have some students that I worked with last year from the Hub for our first cohort, and they are here. One, she got accepted to Clark, Atlanta, but she's here.
Nice.
She got accepted with scholarships. Quite a few, majority of our participants from last year got accepted to the HBCUs on scholarships. That is great. That is God allows mercy, and that they don't have to worry about their first year. Now their second year is a different story. They're responsible for going out looking for more money. You know what I'm saying, and keeping the GPA up high as well during this COVID time while they're home.
Super important.
We had one of the brothers, by the way, who I got plugged in. He was a Muslim. One of the brothers who I know from the masjid here in Brooklyn referenced him to us for the program. He's down in Morehouse. He actually went down and is living with a Morehouse alum.
Okay.
They're sharing a space. So he's
he's not on campus, but he's down there.
But he said he wanted to leave the hood. And
gotcha.
I understand that.
I understand that too.
You want to leave Bed-Stuy, so want to leave Bed-Stuy and go for something better. You know what I'm saying? So I don't fault him for that. And he's doing well. We try to check in on our students, as much as we can, even from afar. So overall, everything is good. Can't complain. Good health. And we have some people who are tuned in. Let's recognize YouTube, King Shabazz. Looking forward to hear Sister Fajr speak, which is our guest, by the way. Sister Rukia, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Rukia.
I'm sure it's Rukia. Yeah.
Rukia. So yes, so am I. She's waiting. Of course, cannot forget my sister, Khadija. Tuned in as always. Assalamu alaikum. Always tuned in. Always sharing the group. So very appreciative of you sharing. Strong supporter since day one. Yes. Thank you so much. And now, without no further ado, let us introduce our guest.
Right. So this evening we have Sister Fajr Malika DeLane, a California and Georgia native, now living in Washington, D.C. She is a Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Millennium Scholar. Sis is bad. She was recognized as a graduated high school senior woman who demonstrated outstanding leadership, academic achievement, extracurricular activities, and community service. She is currently attending Howard University. I had to put on a shirt for her. I had to put on a shirt for my sis. And she is majoring in international business with a concentration in finance. So I definitely had to put my shirt on for her because I am a graduate of the School of B. I was Miss School of Business 2001, 2002.
Okay, now.
So I definitely had to represent for her today. Fajr is the founder and director of two organizations. The first is F to the third power, Fun Fit Fabulous, a health and wellness program initiative for young girls, and College Prep for Success, which prepares youth for college and provides resources to graduates debt free. Delane's inspiration comes from many sources: family, community, and international exposure. And so, without further ado, I'm going to let her like give you all the juicy details about everything that she is into, because she is into so many things. Like, I don't even know her, and I'm super proud of her. So, without further ado, let's bring on Sister Fajr.
Yes, right.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you so much. It's so funny because my life changes every like couple months. So I'm currently living in New York City, and I just graduated this past May.
Oh, nice.
Howard. Yes.
Okay.
So, alhamdulillah, yes, I am a Howard alum.
Yes.
I cannot believe I already graduated, but thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes. I'm excited.
We're honored to have you. I mean, it's we we always try to highlight those who are doing exemplary work in the African American community in general, and specifically the African American Muslim community as well, which I know that you do very well. Which I know we'll get deep into that on this platform. But well, before we do get deeper into all those juicy things that you do, all the fun things that you do, all the engaging things that you do in the community for everybody, could you introduce yourself? Who is Sister Fajr? What is this? For those who don't know, forget about the bio. Who is Sister Fajr?
Okay, great. Well, everyone, my name is Fajr Malika DeLane. Sister Marsha did a great job introducing me. So I just graduated from Howard University this past May. I interned in, thank you, international business with a concentration in finance. I was in DC, but now I'm in New York City. I have a full-time job offer at Bloomberg in Manhattan, New York. And I'm basically a Bloomberg analyst and sales rep. So right now I'm in my analyst position. And then within a year or so, I should be transitioning into sales. So it's a very taskful job, but I'm loving it. Being in the Big Apple, I'm so honored. So many people are so excited. They're just like, oh my God, I want to follow your journey. So I'm trying this YouTube thing out. Like, I'm trying to like do Q&As, people having questions of like, moving out on your own, starting your career, postgraduate life, all these different things that I'm experiencing hands-on, that like people coming up before me or, probably in the same situation may want some advice. So I'm really excited to share that experience. But who I am, I'm me. I've lived so many different experiences. My parents, they're from the Bay Area, California. My mom was born in Oakland. My dad was born in San Jose. My grandparents were like San Francisco, Berkeley. So just all around the Bay Area, California. But they're in Georgia now. So I moved there when I was a sophomore in high school. But before I moved to Georgia, our family lived in Malaysia for 7.5 years. So I've also lived internationally. I definitely got a international experience just growing up as well.
That's nice. Okay. See, I didn't even know that part. That's why I was like, I told y'all, sis is bad. Okay.
Thank you.
but I'm excited to have you on today. Obviously, because you graduated from Howard. So I gotta do this a little bit for Bilal. I just gotta do this a little bit for Bilal. But it's HBCU love all over the place. All over the place. But yeah, so give us so you kind of just gave us a background of you and what you do and where you are now. I know we talked about the organizations that you started. Tell us a little bit more about that stuff.
Yeah, okay. So Fun Fit Fabulous, I had started that when I was a junior in high school. It actually took a while to develop. I first was into fashion, I think maybe 5th grade or something. I thought I wanted to like make clothes and stuff. And my mom noticed that I never like would pick up something to create or like sew. So she's like, are you really serious about this? And so I didn't know, but I thought I liked like fashion or sewing. And then when I was a 9th grader in high school, I got really into health. So I went to this Islamic high school called Averroes Institute in the Bay Area, California for 1 year. And we had this project where we had to like eat healthy food for a couple of weeks, and we had to write down everything. And I was so sick and tired of writing down everything I ate that I was like, I may not eat this just because I don't feel like putting down the calories and everything for this project. But anyways, in that time frame, I realized, you know, the more I was eating healthy, the better I felt, the better I was performing. And then the next year, my family moved over to Georgia, and I found a great community of girls that were very inspirational and everything. And by the end of, you know, a time period, I kind of came up with this idea called Fun, Fit, and Fabulous. So I do like to, you know, I do like fashion as in styling, but not necessarily making stuff.
Right.
But my main thing was, you know, feeling good within yourself, having your goals, your visions, and implementations will definitely shine that light outward. So the main thing with Fun Fit Fabulous is having a beautiful inside by feeding good positivity, planning for your future, making sure you have, you know, healthy, you know, go-tos that you can remain healthy throughout your lifetime, and you'll naturally be fabulous on the outside. So I've had the fortune to actually be able to do some camps in Georgia. So what I did my junior year in high school, that's when I officially kind of like gave birth to the idea, where I had it at a community center, and I had young girls come in, and we started off with yoga. Then we did like healthy food snacks. And then I got them like vision boards. Okay, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? What kind of car you want? What kind of house you want? What kind of school you want to go to? Start laying these out, you know, seeing is believing. And then after that, I'll go show them like a healthy, affordable food snack. So the community of girls I was around, you know, we're, even as a people, we're not always as economically, you know, having a lot of, you know, money in that way. So, you know, definitely having a budget, even if you do have a lot of money, still having a good budget. So like, how can you still eat healthy with the resources you have around you, and, you know, put that in your body. But a lot of places that are, you know, economically deficient has a lot of food deserts. So they don't have a lot of, you know, healthy food places around. They only got like the dollar store and stuff. So it's kind of hard sometimes to get a lot of nutrition. But like, even in those stores, how can we still be healthy, you know?
Right.
And so I did like a healthy food demonstration after we like did all the self-love within, and, you know, getting good nutrition. At the end, we had fun by having a fashion show.
Nice.
So the girls got dressed up. I brought some clothes. They brought their favorite outfits, and we invited the parents over. So by the end of the day, the girls that came in shy came out like Tyra Banks, you know, just really livid and, you know, comfortable who they are. And my main thing is to tell every girl, you know, being fabulous is not one look. It's you being your best self. So it's not the girl in the magazine or whatever. It's you, whoever Allah manifested you to be, and you living in that best essence. That's the fabulosity that I try to tell the girls. It's not like this one look. No. You having that inside right, you're automatically fabulous, and you're automatically just who you're supposed to be.
I love that. So, and tell us a little bit about the college success too.
College prep for success. So when I became a Bill Gates scholar, that was just a huge thing. So I was the only person in my community that year to have gotten it. And, you know, I've worked so hard throughout my high school career. And, you know, I started Fun Fit Fabulous in high school. And that was some of the things I told the Gates Millennium Scholar people, that, you know, I started my own business and helping out the community. Their main thing with that scholarship anyways is basically they're like, if I invest in you, will you invest back into the community? So a lot of people, I heard, they're trying to look for more scholarships and stuff like that. That's kind of the name of the game they don't tell you about. So like, you being involved in a lot of community service or manifesting what you're trying to do is really important, because they're like, if we're going to put all this money into you as we're investing back into the community, we want to make sure you pass it on. Now, everybody doesn't do that, but me, that's just who I am. Just naturally. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's me all the way. Yes. So, you know, of course, I was definitely very strong in high school academically, community service. SAT, ACT was not my strong suit, but I definitely, you know, still took them and stuff. I heard, though, for the new people applying to college this year, some colleges are opting out of that. So take a look at that. Even for scholarships, you know, I don't know, but like some of them are like, since COVID's going on, they're not looking at that. And I know some colleges also too are like taking out SAT and ACT because it's like, you know, just not like fair for everybody.
Right.
So they actually have real articles in like big universities, you know, implementing different things. Maybe you have to submit a paper and things like that. But anyways, when I got the Bill Gates scholarship, a lot of people and parents were like, okay, well, what were some of the things you were doing in high school? So I just basically laid out like a PowerPoint thing of like, okay, you know, who's your recommenders? Who are the teachers you can talk to that can speak on your behalf when you're applying to college or getting scholarships? Round those people up, making sure you're on the top of your stuff, make sure you're documenting, you know, the community service so you can write that out. Also, too, in the age of social media, a lot of people don't even know that, you know, actually taking photos and videos of yourself doing community work is actually a good thing.
Absolutely.
So, you know, sometimes
for documentation. Documentation.
Yeah, documentation. You know, some people, oh, social media is bad. No, put on the positive, you know, put on the positive and say, like, I remember I was helping out at a homeless shelter doing Thanksgiving or December or Christmas time. I can't remember. But basically, somebody had taken a photo of me, like, giving my food. And I was really giving food. I didn't even know who took it. But I was able to, and I got the photo, I was able to upload that for a scholarship, you know. So that also, too, is a good thing, you know, showing you're being active and not just, you know, sometimes words are good, but, like, since we do everything on social media now, like, show some of the work you're doing. So that's something of empowerment. Everybody has that platform that you can use. But basically, when I became a freshman at Howard University and, you know, living the life, like, that's when I realized, like, wow, money. Oh, my God. Like, I am so thankful and grateful. In high school, you know, you kind of live in a bubble where, you know, you just go to school and you go to sports and you go to community service and your parents pick you up and you eat food at the house. You know, you don't know really concept of money. And that's something also, too, I wish and hope high school people will start to, like, implement that for us to know about that. But when I came to Howard University, the craziest thing was we were going on a field trip for community service, and they were like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to pay for your way there. And I'm like, this is community service.
Where they do that at?
I was like, wait, I have to pay to go serve the community? And then, but I was like, okay, this is college. They're basically like, pay for your metro and stuff.
Right.
And I was waiting for my refund check. So how the Bill Gates scholarship works is, like, when the refund check comes, we have a little bit of layover money to help with books and stuff. But, you know, sometimes it takes a couple weeks to happen. So this was like before school started. My money was really low. I still use some of them, but that's when the concept of money, like, was like, whoa, you know. And thank God I had, like, a little bit of extra cash, like, even though my tuition was paid, just linger around. But that stuff is real. Like, college is real. And it's like, okay, what's the economic plan? You know, some people can't go to sometimes the colleges of their dreams because of finances and things like that. So that's a real conversation I think parents need to have with their students of resources they can use. And the Bill Gates scholarship is definitely one of them.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I mean, you mentioned some key points here about, and I'm glad that you brought it up about parents and students, and, you know, parents being more involved now with their students' education. Yes, I'm saying, especially as it relates to just the overall, not just the financial, but just the overall being involved. Would you say that you had that type of involvement from your parents, from your / family, when you were enrolling in your journey to go to Howard?
Definitely. I'm so very blessed for my parents. You know, just definitely being there to support. I mean, my whole family, though, was just kind of taken off the wing. Like, girl, you applying for the Bill Gates scholarship. I mean, we know you great, but, like, you know, you know, it was a lot because people did not know in my family about the Bill Gates scholarship. So for me, that was something, you know, I had counselors kind of talking to me, and I had to keep telling my family, like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to do. Right. And when they kind of found out I was serious about it, they were like, okay, we're going to go with you, you know. But they didn't know, like, at the first time, they were just like, okay, she's trying to do this thing. Like, only very little people get it, you know, will support her. But, you know, but I'm so thankful they were very involved, like, especially with the essays and stuff like that. They were helping me, you know my ideas and, like, you know, helping with any grammar that I needed and stuff like that. So sometimes those are not necessarily always the cases. So make sure if you don't have, like, parents that are involved, or a single parent household, or whatever the case may be, even if you do have parents not really, you know, academically there, it's okay. You have counselors, mentors, and things like that
Mhm.
you can reach out to. Even though my parents went to college, the crazy thing was everything's new now. So I was kind of like
Correct.
one of the first kids, like going through this whole new college process
Mhm.
with a scholarship, trying to get into college. And even though they went to college and they applied, it's totally different now. So like the Common App, you know, the deadlines, early decision, late decision, whatever. It was all new terminology to my even family. So it's not that, you know, they don't know what's going on. Things are always changing. So it was important for me to like reach out to my counselors and mentors and say like, hey, I need help. You know, what are the things I can do? My parents, they helped me in the way that they could, and they did a great job, but also too, just using those resources, those counselors. My grandma always told me, the counselors, they're there to work for you. So you need to go schedule your meetings. They're not going to just always pull you out of class, you know, schedule, tell them, hey, I want to go to college. Hey, I'm trying to get a scholarship. Can you point me to the right resources to get those things?
That's going to be me next year. I'm looking real crazy at my daughter when she comes to me, because she comes to me for everything. Like, Mom, how do you, I'm like, honey, I don't know. It's been a long time.
Okay, yes, and it's not that it's literally everything's changing, and like what we forget, sometimes the counselor's just in their office, like they don't want to be bothered. No, they're there to work for you. So sometimes you got to knock on their door, let them know what you're trying to do, because that's all I did. I basically, when I got to school in Georgia, I let them know, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to go to college. Hey, I'm trying to get a scholarship. And I was serious. But everybody's not that serious. So, you know, I'm also too an interesting breed of a person. Like, you know, a lot of high school students aren't really like how I am, you know. So, you know, subhanAllah, in that way of like, I'm also too, I'm Fajr, but like, I'm really serious about my stuff. And you know, so also too has to be from the students. So even if you do have a supportive family or not, it's up to that student to really be driven. So you have to, as a student, find that way, because only my parents could do so much. Only my siblings could do so much. I was the one who had to say, Fajr, get up, Fajr, get to your future, Fajr, let's go ahead and accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Excellent. You know, I think that's great. That, you know, you had that type of drive and that type of enthusiasm and that type of passion for your education. Before we start pivoting just a little bit, what would be some of your advice or counsel that you would give now to those, say, for instance, like I said in the introduction, that, you know, I deal with some students here in New York City who work in high school with the not-for-profit I am on the board for. And we have students that graduate from our program, our college prep program, and they were all accepted to HBCUs. A lot of them on scholarships, but a lot of them can't get access to the first year experience on the yard. What would you say to those students who may be listening across the country, you know, wherever they are? What would you say to them who were essentially kind of robbed of their freshman year, their true freshman year on the yard?
Wow. You know, this one is a really great question. I just want to give you guys hope and inspiration. I want to say that my heart goes out to you because my freshman year, I remember it to this day. During this homecoming, it's so crazy with technology. Like the days will come back, they'll be like, oh, this happened on October 21st or whatever. And like literally the other day is me and my roommate, you know, going into our dorms together, about to go to homecoming, getting dressed, going to like Forever 21 to the local mall, getting ready, you know, get our stuff. So just that whole experience, you know, the hype of, you know, getting ready and the preparation, the the alumni you get to see. I'm so sorry you guys are not able to experience that, but inshallah, you know, just I would say definitely stay on top of your work. I know it's kind of hard to even connect with faculty and team, students, because it's just like you guys don't see each other in college. In college, already in itself sometimes can be isolating sometimes. So it is kind of like a big hard thing for me. The COVID thing happened my senior year springtime after spring break, so I didn't even get to walk on my graduation. I had a virtual graduation, and like kind of I was like, what happened to my graduation? Like this was supposed to be the biggest moment of my life.
Absolutely.
And I didn't even get to do that. So subhanallah, the biggest thing was me just being grateful. I think in this time, subhanAllah, you just have to really be grateful. My thing was like, I got my degree. I got the Bill Gates scholarship. I'm working full time now for an amazing job, loving what I do. So I just had to kind of look back at the blessings that Allah still has given me, even though I thought for sure I was gonna be walking. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, the only way I'm not walking is because something I did, but not like there was gonna ever be a pandemic or whatever. It's something about like, okay, some didn't check off, like, but it was the pandemic, and I was like, I had never even thought this would be the situation. Ever. A lot of people in my class definitely, we kind of felt like, will we be okay? Like, are we gonna like always be kind of warped? Like, but I feel like everybody in this class 2020, whether you're a freshman, graduate from high school, college, we all are sharing this moment in time of just, I don't know what this is, but it's a sensitive part of our hearts, so if anything, I would just say, just still do the best you can, and inshallah, if things open back up and stuff, you guys will be able to experience them in the future. Inshallah, this doesn't last forever. So even if you can't experience it your freshman year, inshallah, your new coming years, or even as alumni, you guys will be able to experience it, because alumni is always at Howard University. So even if you didn't do it your freshman year, you'll get to experience it sometime in your life. People are 40, 50, 60, 70 at the homecomings. You know what I'm saying? They act like they're 20. So you guys will be okay. Okay, you guys will be okay. And to be honest, like when it comes to homecoming, I personally saw myself evolve. Freshman year, I was just so wide-eyed. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this party's going on here, and it's this and that and that and this. But then by the time sophomore year came, I was just so much more comfortable with, the school. I felt like, okay, I go here. Freshman year, you're kind of like, am I really
where do I fit?
Where do I fit? So I was like, okay, sophomore year, I think we're going to know where we're going now and stuff. By junior year, I was like,
oh, this is my spot.
I was like, okay, this is what we doing, I was so proud. By the time junior year, I was like an expert. I was just like, oh yes, I'm ready. And then senior year too. Senior year was like, I was finally like, coming over the experience. So I was like, I'm gonna invite all my family. So it was so great. My siblings, my mom, everybody kind of came up and experienced Howard together. And by senior year, I felt like it was my going away, because it was my senior year. Junior year is like my my last hype, and then senior year was kind of hype too, but it was like more of a family experience. I wanted to bring my siblings and everybody just to kind of experience what I experienced, and they had a great time. I got to meet Sweetie, the rapper girl from the Bay Area, and I
tap in.
Yep, tap in. And I just launched my Fun Fit Fabulous sweater, so I was able to gift her one. So it was so cute. Like, she's so amazing. But yeah, subhanAllah, like all that stuff, the resources, the network at Howard is just tremendous and amazing.
Hold on, I wanna surprise you. We got some surprises.
We got some surprises today.
Pivot the conversation.
Get ready, girl.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh, I think I have that.
Could you explain this moment that you had with one of the daughters of the Honorable Fajr Malika Al-Shabazz?
Mashallah.
And how that went about, and how you were featured in the Muslim Journal.
SubhanAllah. Oh my God. Well, ever since I was young, my parents, they were very making sure that I was involved in our culture, where we came from, the Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, that was definitely the conversation in our house actually. And for me, knowing who they were, that's actually who I am, so in my heart, who Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X, who they are, what they stood for, that's the essence of who my heart is. And I wondered, I was like, why am I born during this time? I'm like, I was like, oh, it would be so great to have lived when they lived, And a voice came to me, and Allah said, the daughters are still existing, and I was
absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
Oh my God. So ever like my spirit was like, subhanAllah, I don't know how it's gonna work out, but I'm like, inshallah, one day we're gonna connect. And it was just a very big place on my heart. It was nothing ever forceful. I didn't know how it was gonna happen, when it was gonna happen, but I felt like one day, inshallah, we're gonna connect and Allah's gonna make it happen. So I was first at the Parliament of World Religions in Salt Lake City, Utah. I think it was, Salt Lake City, Utah. One of my years. And Ilyasa Shabazz, the one I'm hugging, she was there. But when I found out where she was and where she spoke, I was either at the Airbnb or I was in a different conference. The people I was with didn't know or wasn't part of it. But anyways, my mom ended up finding out that she was there and I didn't see her. And I'm all like, twittering her like, girl, like I'm trying to see you type stuff. And but that time she already flew back to where she was. So she was just like, let me know, what state you're in, and I'll let you know if I'm ever there, stuff like that. But it was like I was in high school, And one day, I'm at Howard University and I'm finally close to New York. So Howard University in DC. And I started following the Shabazz Center or Ilyasa on Instagram. And she had posted a flyer that they were doing something for Malcolm X's birthday, which is not birthday. His when he died. He died in like February, I believe.
Yeah, February.
Yeah, February. So they were doing something at the Shabazz Center. And I had told my mom, I was like, Mom, I'm planning on going. And at that time, the weather was really bad. Like, it was like really cold or whatever, rainy. So my mom was kind of like, girl, just be careful. But my heart was saying, go. And I didn't know. I put my little mega bus. Okay, because college money is tight. Okay,
absolutely.
I fly any day, try to fly any day now. But in college, I was like taking that mega bus everywhere. So I just booked me a mega bus ticket to New York from DC. And I literally just went. And the whole time there, I just felt like the spirit, just like, this is where you need to be, And the day before it was rainy, it was cold. But then out of nowhere, the day of, the sun was shining, so subhanAllah, like, it was kind of scary. Like, I don't know how the transportation was going to be, but it ended up being excellent. Like, everything was coming together. And when I first got into the building, this girl named She Salt, if I'm saying that right, She Salt or something like that. She's like a New York poet or rapper, something like that. But she's really close with Ilyasa Shabazz, right? And I told her the first time, I was like, I'm trying to see Ilyasa, like, this is my dream. Like, she was like, I got you. I was like, okay. I'm like, when you see her, like, let her know, like, I'm trying to see her because I know there's a ton of people here. And before we started, they only were letting a couple of people up. And Seashell, whatever, I can't remember what she go by on her Instagram, but we're following each other. We're really good friends. And she basically, like, I think, hinted out at Ilyasa, like, this young sister you need to meet type stuff. And so I ended up going up to her, and it couldn't have been better than my dreams. Like, me and her just connected. Like, she just embraced me. It was so beautiful. And the year before, actually, I spoke at the United Nations on behalf of what Malcolm X was saying about the human rights. So when I had met her, I was letting her know, like, I went to the Human Rights Conference representing the United States, and I let them know in that conference about what Malcolm X was saying about our human rights. And that whole place was quiet, okay? So I let her know. She was just, like, so happy and thankful. And anyways, so we ended up, like, somebody ended up recording the thing. So that's how everybody got to see the video of, like, our encounter. It was so beautiful. And at the end, we took a photo. So at the end, when we were taking a photo, this girl was like, put my number in. I said, I was like, what? I got the email, not the Twitter, her personal number. And I just was like, this is amazing. So and she's so amazing. I be texting her like, happy birthday, or like, and she knows like,
That's your bestie. That's your bestie now.
It's your
You can say that you're a bestie too.
You
That's
already
right.
know. So
That's right.
she knows I'm in New York. When I got the Bill Gates scholarship and stuff like that, she knows that I'm up here. So she's really excited and proud of me. Also, too, for graduation, if graduation would have happened, she was going to try to come up there, but everything got
nice.
Yeah, but subhanAllah, she's a beautiful spirit. But even going back to the Muslim Journal, my grandfather, Control DeLane, he was the one who was selling papers in California, all throughout the Bay Area. Okay, he was on films and stuff like that. He was in the Nation of Islam. So he first started off in the Nation of Islam, and then eventually they all transferred into Al Islam. But subhanAllah, really going into my DNA, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, my granddad being on the floor, giving out papers, bean pies. His best friend makes the bean pies that everybody loves. Brother Raul, he makes the best bean pies. So if anything, as
I don't know about that, but we got a pie. We got a pie too.
We got a pie. The best bean pies.
Sounds like a showdown.
We have to have a cook-off
on everything. But everybody loves their bean pies from where they from. But I'm sorry, that's my favorite. Period. But yes, subhanAllah, as beautiful as it is, I also feel like it's only right. It's only right because I feel like subhanAllah, like Allah's servants of what we're doing here, we see each other, we know. Basically, when I met Ilyasa, she knew we came from the same source, soul, family. That's my sister forever, So it's like, I know and I heard, like, you don't understand, like when they be in the ballroom where Malcolm X got killed, literally to this day, puts me in a trance. But subhanAllah that we're here today, Allah had a purpose, whatever that is, and like all the amazing things that we're doing. Here it's like it's purpose, and they did not die in vain. And I was just listening to the Quran the other day, and Allah says they're not dead, they're living right with me. You know what I'm saying? The people, the martyrs and things like that. So I always feel, Malcolm X around me and Muhammad Ali and everybody. So my ancestors, the people that passed before me and stuff, they're here. Even the people living, my uncles, my aunties, my cousins, I love them all. My sisters, my brothers, my parents, everything I do, I'm part of that legacy, and they're part of my legacy. So I'm just here to be my best self, to help encourage other people, because we're not here for a long period of time. And I'm just really here to try to accomplish whatever Allah has for me here to do.
I mean, the sister's a rock star. I mean, I got another surprise.
Yes.
Another
one.
I got another surprise. And what's this? Okay, let's see if we can bring this one up. Oh.
Hey.
With the gold. That's right. The gold Olympian Sister Dalila Muhammad. I mean, the sister is awesome too. So to see you two again, this is another awesome picture. So what's the story? What's the story with this picture?
Okay, shout out to my auntie Farah. Okay, she went to Howard University. She is part of the mashallah Muslim community in the Maryland area, and that's like one of my mom's closest friends. Like I think that's one of her best friends as well. So anyway, she had told me, like, I think maybe I've been speaking throughout my life and stuff. So she was like, I'm about to have this event, and girl, I want you to host an interview with Dalila Muhammad. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? So I did a big event in college my sophomore year, and that's when I did the HEP Jab Fest. That was the first ever.
Absolutely.
So I had Ibtihaj Muhammad come, Halima, and Ayana Ife, who was on Project Runway and stuff like that. So that was kind of like my big initiation of just like, community organizing, being able to do contracts, whatever it is. So I don't know, like I know a lot of people kind of had their eyes on me to help with different events and stuff, but out of kindness on my auntie's heart, she was like, girl, Dalila is coming, inshallah you'll be able to interview her and things like that, or we want you to ask her some questions and 1, 2, 3. So I was like, oh my God, that'll be so great. So anyways, I ended up going ahead and doing that, and I got to interview her, and then the next day she had another event, and we went backstage. I gave her my sweaters. I had a couple of sweaters made by my brother Sajad. He had gotten this little printing machine, and that's when I was first starting off with my little Fun Fit Fabulous merchandise, and I had an extra one, so I ended up giving that to her, and she ended up wearing it. Asked her a couple of questions, and we are friends to this day. Like, we be, you know, hitting each other up here and there. She's from the New York area. I don't know if
Yes,
you know.
she is.
She's in LA right now, and she was supposed to be going to Tokyo this year, but COVID and stuff, so they have to postpone that. But she's an amazing, beautiful sister, beautiful heart, beautiful spirit, and just Fun Fit Fabulous. Her mind and things like that connects totally with it. So, you know, making sure that we're inspired, we're living our dreams and things like that. So it was just a perfect hookup.
Hold on. I gotta bring this one comment in. This is
I saw that too.
This is from my brother and classmate, brother Abraham. Brother Abraham Wishnoff, who also lived in the Bay and back in the day. He says, "Assalamu alaikum, brother Raouf. Brother Raouf's pies are legendary. She tells the truth. Alhamdulillah, my."
You the goat.
He's the goat.
He says,
it's so good. My mom even made a book. She made a children's book about Brother Raoul's being.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's that good. It's literally like, you know, I don't know what cultures really have.
I got New Freedom Pie popping in. Give him a second.
That's my culture. Like, bean pie, that's like my Black experience.
Hold on. While we have that, we have our chef and producer who's about to come in, Brother Deen, who's the other co-host. He will be joining us shortly. And Brother Wishnoff said his daughter was also a Bill Gates scholar as well.
Oh, nice.
May Allah continue to bless you, your efforts. You make us proud.
Awesome.
So just thought to bring that.
Congratulations to your daughter, and I appreciate the well wishes.
That's right. So let's pivot. I mean, Marsha, I know you have some. We call Marsha the she has 1,000,000,001 questions. So I don't want. This is Howard to Howard, so you know I do want to get that connection in. So please.
Well, so I just have one.
Hold on. I'm breaking through the show.
Wait. Yeah, he had to break through the show. New Freedom Pie had to come in. Hold on. We gotta have our pie conversation first. Wake my
first, I sound like, how y'all doing? Excuse me. I heard a lot of ruckus and noise. I was backstage. I had to get this.
We had some pie talk. We did. We was having some pie talk, man.
She was talking heavy. It's all good. All right, carry on. I'm here.
Okay. New Freedom Pie is in the building.
That's right.
No, but I was just curious. Where did you stay when you were at Howard? Which dorm? I'm so curious about that.
Oh, what girl? Okay. So technically, I could have went to the new one. They had CHN.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's more of the new one, right?
Yeah.
It's more looking fancy, whatever.
Yes.
I call my auntie.
Girl, you gotta stay in the quad.
My mom's best friend. Auntie,
you gotta be in the quad.
Girl, I called. I said, "Girl, what dorm you stayed in?"
The quad.
She said, "Quad Fraser."
Fraser, what floor?
Second.
I was on the floor.
And I was like, even though I'm a little privileged to be able to go to the uppity little one, I said, I gotta do the legacy, I gotta do the heritage.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I was supposed to be on the second floor, but by the time I got to DC that day, I was late and they had already filled up the floor, so I wound up on fourth floor. But absolutely, fourth floor Fraser in the quad.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to connect with previous alums about our dorm experience, because CHN is so new. It just was created a couple years ago. It's not really a lot of legacy there,
right,
with that. So I'm like, I want to share that quad experience, and I'm so happy because each year I felt like I kept leveling up, better quality, whatever. But it was such a beautiful experience, a sisterhood. We had conversations. I remember something happened even to the Muslim community. I don't know, but my floor manager, what are those people called?
RAs.
Yeah,
I was an RA too. I was an RA in the annex.
Okay, I wasn't an RA, but I had an RA, and she was like, she sent out a group email to everybody saying, we have a Muslim sister on this floor, and we're going to show solidarity. We're going to have a team meeting. I cannot remember what's going on. What about? I think it was maybe the Muslim ban by Trump. I don't know. It may have been that. Maybe the Muslim ban by Trump. I don't know. Or something had happened. because I entered 2016, so I don't know. But anyways, we had a conversation, dialogue with Christians, Muslims, non-Muslims, just coming together to show support for our Black Muslim sisters. So it was just a great experience, even to be Black, but then to be Muslim and people not being Muslim, some people being Muslim, just coming together is definitely an amazing experience. And to this day, my roommate from that experience, we're still really.
It's not specific to Howard, but I just wanted you to talk a little bit about sort of living out loud, right? Because I don't even know you that well, but I can see in just our brief encounter today that you're a testament to someone who sort of just lives it, right? Not just thinks about it or dreams about it, but then goes out and gets it. And so talk to us about that. And I know Bilal asked a question a little earlier about the advice you would give to a student coming behind you, and it was more relation to the college experience and sort of missing that in the first year. But my question is more tailored to just getting to that place of, I have to take this bull by the horns and just live it because I don't know how long I have. And so talk to us a little bit about that.
SubhanAllah. Everything for me really clicked when I was a 7th grader. I was like middle of 7th grade, so like mid 12th, that age around. Basically I was in my 2nd semester of 7th grade, and the year before I had went on a summer trip at my grandmother's house, and I met up with my Muslim cousins and stuff like that, and that was my first time seeing young girls in a hijab. And the people around me in California did not wear no scarves around me, and then I think I saw one girl who did it, but she was a foreign girl and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, but she wasn't expressing herself. She was so introverted and stuff. So I was like, if that's what the scarf is, that's not me. I don't know if I can do that, But when I went to see my cousins in the East Coast, they were playing softball and just like me, and I'm like, they're wearing this scarf. This is my first time kind of like seeing this for our age group, right? But for me, it's not necessarily the scarf that did it for me, but it was a transition. So me mentally, a voice came to me and said, Fajr, it is time for you to start wearing the hijab. And I said, I was like, now, like today, and it wasn't like the beginning of 7th grade or the starting of 8th grade. It was in the middle. So it was like right when winter break came, Allah was saying, when you come back, it's time for you to wear. And I'm like, it's not even the new school year. People saw me without a scarf. Like, what the heck is going on? I was going through all that, but something said, you already know how this life is going. I was okay. I was doing my thing, but it was a lot of just energy around me that wasn't always too positive and stuff like that. So I ended up I said, you know what, Allah, I'm gonna run with you. I'm gonna see what you're talking about. So I ended up wearing my scarf, and it was literally the biggest semester of my life, because people that I thought I knew, they were acting like they didn't know me, and things like that. But regardless, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because in that semester, when I was wearing my scarf, I got to develop a tremendous relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like, because Allah was talking to me every day, and I was talking to Allah like, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be serious. And when I started concentrating on the goals that I had, Allah would start manifesting that for me. So like when I first did it, people didn't understand. By the time 8th grade came, everyone was like, we love you. We're voting for you. Most likely to succeed. You're great. You're great in sports. You're just so illuminating and stuff. But I really toned into like really tapping into my best self. Like Ramadan, I was not playing. I was putting in my goals. I was getting up early. At that time, I was really into basketball. So by the time 8th grade came, I was balling out. People were coming to see me, things like that. I thought I was always going to play, but I didn't feel like playing later on. But I still gave it my best at that time. So I basically came up with this equation. It's like, whatever you put in, you're going to get out. It's a simple math equation. So for me was like, if I give everything I got, Allah's going to take care of the rest, whether it be in basketball, school, whatever. So I just really applied that philosophy that I learned in that short period of time for the rest of my years going forward. So concentrating, making that decision, but putting that work in and trusting that Allah is going to take you that extra mile. But you do have to put in the work. You cannot be afraid of that work to be put in, because that's kind of what we're here for. And I feel like for me, it's always made sense. I don't live for just myself. Like, I'm here to like literally fulfill whatever Allah has for me to fulfill. And I know that that ideology can be, later on in life and things like that. But for me, that's when it came, and it really worked. It really worked. Everything I did, I put Allah first. I made dua, but I also made sure that I said, okay, Allah, what do you need me to do? Listening to different signs and things like that. So always work hard, pray, and know that Allah will take care of the rest, and Allah ultimately wants the best for you. So just really knowing that, like, your parents want the best for you, your family. No, Allah is your creator, so Allah will want you the ultimate best. Allah's here to have you be the best of creation. You are Khalifa, so you have to mentally know that. I'm like, oh, Allah, you created me Khalifa. Let me be Khalifa, So.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Love that. Love that.
Yeah, see, so Sister Fajr, you are one of the exemplary examples that I believe and see as someone who has come back to the community and has given back to young people and just the community in general. And we are at a crossroads now where the older are getting older and they are transitioning, either physically transitioning or their time is basically up in terms of leadership. So I'm saying there's a void in leadership in the African American community, and more specifically also the African American Muslim community.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself in the work that you do filling in that area? And also, what is the message that you will give to those like yourself, your peer group, who maybe are not participants or are not participating or don't feel like they are wanted and etc. in these spaces to actually demonstrate leadership and etc.
Okay, so that was kind of like a two-part question. One
Yes.
Basically, where do I see myself in the African American Muslim community, and the second being for those that feel lack of participation and connection with the community.
Yes.
Okay. So for me, even in the essence of me fulfilling whatever Allah has for me here to do, I don't necessarily know what that full picture looks like, but I'm confident to know that each day and each time that I grow and experience things, that Allah will reveal and make clear what that is. Right now, I'm still in the development phase of what, I'm taking care of immediately. And in my different platforms, I definitely try to be an open ear. People, ask me questions about either the scholarships or, being a Muslim, spirituality or whatever. Like, I'm trying my best to like get back to them or let them know. So in my own little platform, I also make sure that I'm connected with my peer group and those that are, younger, older than me, that have questions. So I'm definitely involved in that way at the moment. But subhanAllah, I mean, Allah only knows, to what capacity later on I will be for the community or involved with the community. Only Allah knows that. But with my situation now, definitely using my social media platforms as an open space to like communicate, share some advice, say that, hey, I hear you, here's some good tips and things like that. For those that don't feel that involved, I would say that I understand how that can be, because sometimes even within the Muslim community, you can feel like an outcast. Some people who don't wear hijab, or some brothers who, whatever, not whatever the status quo of what you think a Muslim should be. Sometimes even from the elder community, you can feel that you don't fit in or they're judging you. That's the worst thing you can do. I think for me, like, I've learned just being international and stuff, I don't care if you're Chinese, you're blue, you're white, you're black, whatever, you're a creation from Allah. So inshallah, or a janitor or president, I'm gonna make sure that I still treat you with respect, and not judge you. And I feel like even within the Muslim community, sometimes we have a lot of that judgment, which a lot of children and youth sometimes close off and may go into a different category that they feel included in. And hopefully through who I am, being authentic in myself, I hope to give people that comfortability to be themselves, whatever shape or form that may be. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You may not wear hijab. You may wear hijab. You may, have a problem here, have a problem there, but you're still great. You're still here to do something else, So my main thing is like, making sure people feel involved, loved. I think that's a more love we need to give, more love than critique here and there, because you can sometimes be shining out some people's light by doing that. So for those that don't feel involved, I would say tap into who you are, connect to Allah in your way. I would say it's not the imam's job. It's not the your parents' job or your siblings' job. I tell each of my siblings, at least starting from my house, you need to develop a relationship with your creator in your way. I tell them that I'm like, who I am, most of it for them is you and Allah. So if you're not comfortable with that, honey, it's gonna be some problems. So my main thing is develop that relationship with Allah. Look inwards. You have the Quran, we have the hadiths, but develop that communication with Allah, because everything that I do, each moves, each opportunity, it's Allah, but you also too have to connect yourself somehow. So you have to do that own work, young member of the community, older member of the community. And I would say also too, have more love, less judgment, more love, carry more love, give more love, give more love. Not stop always critiquing people, because you don't know what the people might have not been eating. The dads may be gone, mom may got working 3 jobs. We ain't got time to, there's a difference. I heard from Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle said there was a difference between somebody, or Tupac, it was one of them. There's a difference between somebody surviving and living. People that are surviving, they're not thinking about morals. They're not thinking about.
That was Tupac.
Okay, and so he was saying they're not thinking about morals. They're just trying to eat. So right or wrong doesn't really apply. When you're living, you're like, okay, I have something in my stomach. I can actually think. I can pray. I can give thanks. I can plan for the future. But most people in our community, as African Americans and Black people in the United States of America, we're just surviving. So we're like trying to live up to this, spiritual standard of, whatever capacity that may be. And inshallah, let's tap into it. But we also have to be real with some of the economic situations we're in, that, whatever, picture people are placing on what this child should be doing or not doesn't really apply, because they're not in a fair balance of just society, So that child may be doing the best they can, but they may be getting backlash from the elder community or people around them. So that's why I say have more love, be open to their situation and things like that, because you never know what somebody's going through, and you having a positive spirit, you never know how you're going to uplift that person or get them to the next day.
Yeah, and I like that you use the phrase have more love, right? Because I don't think we always approach situations such as having this sort of generational gap. And I think too, where Bilal was going with the question is like a lot of our masses right now, you have an older population, and maybe you have some really young children, but the teens aren't there, the 20 somethings aren't really there, and in most cases a lot of the 30 somethings aren't there. And so there's this whole couple of generations really of Muslims that don't exist in the masjid, not on a large scale. And sometimes it's a little scary to look at that, because you're, as Bilal mentioned, that as the elders begin to progress in age, they're not going to be doing as much of the work as they used to do, or they really do want to pass the baton and can or don't know how or who to pass it to. And the fact that you say sort of show more love, I think that is on both ends, right? For the elders and for the younger people, sort of like, well, let's not fight about whatever the differences are. Let's go ahead and, I guess, have a conversation about what's missing, why it's missing, how do we bridge the gap, because there's a real need for our communities to thrive.
Yes.
Al-Islam is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere in the Black community, but what it looks like going into the future is vulnerable right now.
Yes. And I think just real quick of what you're saying is so important. Malcolm X definitely hit on institutions. We definitely need things to thrive in. Like, you know, we don't really have that. I think the Nation of Islam, we also too in Al Islam need to look back at some of the good things they did, you know, of, you know, having that community support and structure economically. Okay, we need to eat, we need food, you know, what is our real thing, you know? So I feel like sometimes we totally neglect that, and it's like they were doing a lot of good things that sustain certain things, and we just kind of like, you know, just probably eliminated a lot of that stuff. But it's like there were actually real community, you know, making sense stuff. So I'm saying that I feel like we need more of a community effort. We need a space that we feel safe, we feel loved by younger and older. But we also need to broaden what that looks like. You know, even with hadith, it goes with different times, and we're in a new time period. So it's not to say what worked back then didn't work now, but we have to also be innovative to see what is going on in our society. How is Islam looking now? And for me, through my work, subhanAllah, what always resonated with me was Prophet Muhammad SAW was a walking Quran. And, you know, you got to be involved in the community, you know? So it's like, my main thing, I was in the South, I was in the West Coast, East Coast, now I'm up North. But I'm still Fajr Malika DeLane, and I feel like I be going into the rooms, you know, as a Muslim woman, a Black Muslim woman, every space I go to. But I feel like my character is really important. And what I represent and what I do in the community, that's Islam. You know, so I feel like we have to expand that instead of saying it's just in this one space, and it's actually everywhere. And you actually, Islam is in everything you do. Right. You know, so I feel like sometimes we have it has to just be in this little space. Yes, we do need a space because that is lacking. We don't have that really as a Black Muslim community. Like, that's a strong presence. But at the same time, I hope for people to see that Islam is in everything you do, how you, you know, incorporate yourself in your life, you know, what you're giving back to, you know, what you're enlightening, how you acting towards people. You know, that's Islam. People were like, they never seen a Muslim hijab. I was in the South, girl. I was in the South. I was in JRTC, which is like the army for high school, wearing a hijab, and I was leading everybody. I was the battalion commander, the highest ranking cadet, wearing a hijab, and it's like old white men, you know, everywhere I go. And they're just like, look at this Black woman that's a Muslim, and she's so nice and, you know, leading everybody. Right. But I didn't have to, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and, you know, have to like put my, they just saw my character and were like, this girl's onto something. I had gotten a congressional nomination from Congressman Jody Heiss, and he's a Republican. And you know, people were like, how did you get a recommendation from him? We thought he was against all Muslims and hijabis. And I didn't even know that going in, but my character spoke words. So I hope people can see that. It's like you have to transcend your mind, you know, because whatever Allah instilled in you, Allah breathed Allah's spirit in us. So we have to know that Allah's here with us and not be afraid. I know with everything going on, there's a lot of hatred and, you know, division going on, but you have to, you know, let that stuff go, but more focus on what can I do today and what goals that I'm here today. I don't care what's going on in the presidency or whatever it is, because I still have to do what I got to do. Right. You know, so I feel like, you know, sometimes we get very dogmatic about all that energy, and the truth of the matter is we're not working. You know, a lot of times we're always putting an excuse on other people and other things, but we fail to like work on what Allah has for us to here to do. You know, we're so busy on this is the problem, but what's the solution? What can I do? What can I still manifest? And that's what we need to start focusing our energies, because that's what we're lacking. We don't have institutions. We don't have space. We're always like, oh, this is a problem, it's a problem. But not a lot of us are creating or having safe spaces or, you know, talking about real family stuff. I know even in the Muslim community, we don't even have a space to talk about, you know, real stuff that, you know, may be un-Islamic or Islamic, or real stuff that happens in the families or non-families, because, oh, you know, we can't talk about that. You know, so it's like we need to really not say, oh, we're just Muslim, but this is real life. We're in America. And I've talked to my friends and my siblings, and there's some shameful things have been happening, but they don't have a space to talk about it. They'll be judging the community. The sheikh won't talk about it. The sister will give you a side eye. The brother will give you a side eye. Shoot, you may not even get married. But it's like, why do you not have these safe spaces? Right. And I feel like when we're talking about, oh, something's wrong with the society and, you know, we got to fight the system, whatever, we're not even looking at our own families and communities and checking each other and putting justice where that needs to be. And I feel like Allah would give us more accountability on that than something we can barely control. I mean, you know, it starts with the family, the community, and I feel like we always dismiss that. Oh, it's us against the white man and all whatever, all very far driven. You know, that's true. Right. But we have little stuff even within ourselves that we fail to even check, recognize, correct because it's a family issue or a community issue we can't talk about. No, we need to check those things because I feel like on the day of judgment, that's what Allah's going to be asking us about. This is something you could have played in to making a correction, and we don't even give each other the space and foundation to do so and to grow and to heal. And we keep passing on the generations of trauma and things like that because we're supposed to be all perfect. We're not perfect. We are not perfect, you know? So it's like we have to have spaces where we can be imperfect to heal, to grow, to bring in a better generation. But I feel like, you know, we have all these so-called standards we're trying to live up to, but we're not really at. And that's where it's phony. I feel like the reason why things are missing is because there's a phony energy. There's real stuff happening, but we don't talk about real stuff in the spaces that we're supposed to be talking about. We talk about, oh, you know, the world is peaceful. And it's like, come on, we got some real stuff to talk about. Right.
Well, I just want to put in the station identification real quickly as we are just at our hour mark, and you know, before we get to our closing remarks, you are now proudly listening to and very delightful listening to New Freedom Exchange here on Facebook and YouTube Live. For those who are watching and supporting, we thank you all for tuning in. We ask you all to like the page and to subscribe to the YouTube channel, New Freedom Exchange, and New Freedom Exchange on Facebook. If you like the content that you're hearing, please share the stream. Please share this to your friends, to your family, to your beloveds. Let them know that, you know, this is an important space. This is an important conversation that is taking place. And also, we are streaming on Twitch as well. That's a new streaming platform. More to come. We're streaming on Twitch as NFX streaming on Twitch as well. So if you're on Twitch, you can watch us on Twitch as well. So yeah, we're very thankful for those who are watching and continue to support us. So those who are new, I would like to recognize those who are new in the room. We have King Shabazz tuned in on YouTube. He says, "Teach young beloved." You know, we have Sister Delisha Moreno. She said, "I love you, Fajr. You are so inspiring." We have Gwendolyn. She said, "Yes, sis, you accomplished your goal during this public health crisis safely." Okay. We have Sister Rukaya, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rukaya. She says she couldn't have said it more beautifully than what you did, sister, just now.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And we have Sister Ija Richardson tuned in. Says, "Hello, I tuned in on my phone now, but now I'm on my computer. LOL." So she just caught it. She's just catching up to the second half of our conversation. So we thank everyone for tuning in. And last but not least, we would like to get each other's closing remarks as we, you know, we hate to let you go, Sister Fajr. You know, so we don't want to keep you either. You know, so I'm saying, you know, you're a busy sister, and you know we want to respect people's time. So, you know, Sister Marsha, do you have closing remarks? So this is the order. I think I'll go first, and then you sisters can end us out with the bang. You know, say the best for the last. You know.
Yeah, we'll give Sister Fajr the last comment.
Oh, this is her. Oh, this is your dad.
That's my dad.
Yeah, that's your dad.
Hey, Dad. Okay, how are you? That's my dad right there.
Hey, Dad.
And Sister Sultana from New Jersey, from the Muslim Journal, has given you salam.
Sultana.
You know.
I really appreciate it. I love you guys. You guys are amazing.
So yeah, so I think today was this exchange that we've had with our beloved guest, Sister Fajr, is just it's just a very important conversation, very important exchange. We've touched upon a lot of crucial points besides getting ready for college and the whole collegiate experience, and particularly at HBCU. But we really talked about giving space healthy spaces to express ourselves and to be ourselves, and knowing that we also have to make time to build our own relationship with our Lord.
Yes.
For those who are tuned in, who don't know what Allah is just basically God, as the Christians identify as God, the Jews identify as belief in God. It's just that's how we say it. You know what I'm saying? Just to put context onto that. So we talk about developing relationship to the Lord, relationship to your Creator, most importantly. Developing your own relationship to your Creator, and not letting people defy you, based upon preconceived notions, the backbiting, the gossip, all of these things in our community, not just the Muslim community. This is just universal. So when we speak about the Muslim community, we're actually speaking about the whole African American community, and humanity. These are human faults that we all have. That we all probably have done more times than none, that we're all guilty of. It's because we're not perfect. We are flaws. However, I'm saying we are in a blessed position, I think, a blessed time to reconnect with our Creator, to reconnect with our purpose as given to us by the Creator. I'm saying, and to tap in, no pun intended, to tap in to what the Creator has instilled for us. And sometimes things happen when the Creator says it's time. When it's time for you to have something, it will be given to you. When it's not time, you may not get it the way that you may want to get it.
That's
and
right.
Also, this aspect of leadership and the young adults, not just in the African American Muslim community, but the young adults in the African American community who may feel like they've been not being heard, you're not being respected. It's a two-way street, obviously. It goes both for the older ones and for the younger ones, for us too. And we're happy to have this conversation with Sister Fajr, because I think you are the youngest guest that we have ever had on our platform. And we're pleased to have you to be the first one, because again, not only your resume, your bio, but your character speaks for itself. That this is an example of somebody like yourself who is trying to live and striving to live within their purpose as given by the Creator. Yes, I'm saying, and being your authentic self, which is something that we really appreciate on this platform. We like to highlight amongst all our guests that we spotlight is that being authentic. Yes, I'm saying, and not being this person that you're not. So we definitely appreciate you, Sister Fajr, and we hope to have you back soon, and stay in contact with you as well.
Alhamdulillah.
And so for my closing remarks, I just want to say I appreciate you, Sister Fajr, for being on the Freedom Exchange. RHU, had to throw that in there. And then she was in the quad in Fraser Hall, so I'm super excited, super stoked. But I just wanted to say that the tail end of our conversation is really, I mean, I loved all of it, but the tail end is really what struck me, because in the tail end of our conversation, we spoke about sort of your Islam being what you exhibit in the world. And I always want people to know that, as you said, it don't always got to be a Bismillah, alhamdulillah, it don't have to be all of that all the time. People look at your character, people look at how you're treating others, how you treat yourself, how you show up in the world. And as I said to you earlier, I think that you're a beautiful example of just living out loud, just all of those gifts that Allah put into you, living those things out loud. And it's encouraging for everyone. And I always encourage people to do that. Young, old, doesn't really matter. Just don't leave this earth with your gifts trapped inside of you. Let that stuff out and become your best self, because that not only for me, that's like gratitude to Allah,
Yes.
when you do that.
Yes.
But in addition to that, you're encouraging so many other people, because for the person who lives with fear, they get to see, oh, it's a young Black sister doing that, and I'm a young Black sister, and why can't I? Or it's a young Black Muslim sister doing that, and I'm a young Black Muslim sister. Why can't I? Or it's just a young Muslim doing it, and I'm a young Muslim. Why can't I? And we never know who's watching us. We never know who sees us. We never know who we're touching. And so I just thank Allah much for you and for the example that you display in the world. And I pray that so many more of us do that. And if we all sort of do that and have that impact in our communities, we'll be so much further.
I mean, sister. Well, thank you so much, Sister Marsha and Imam Bilal Hassan. I really, really appreciate you guys having me today. SubhanAllah, definitely a great conversation. I love doing these. So just, let me know. Inshallah, we can definitely stay connected. Always love giving back and having this conversation. And I hope people can see, like, I'm a girl just like you. I'm a human being at most, at number one. Okay, so... And you're so right. I think that even one of the great Chadwick Boseman, who just recently passed away, was a very great example of basically how I view my life. Of like, I don't know when Allah's taken us, and we all know that. And it's more about, what did you use? Allah always says in the Quran, what did you use of what I provided for you? And I feel like a lot of us hold back. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do that when I make it. I'm going to do that in 5 years, 10 years, when I retire. Do it now. So I try to tell people, I may be, young or whatever the case may be, but to Allah's standards, I don't know if I'm really young. You know what I'm saying? So my main thing is I need to do whatever Allah has for me here to do. And to be honest, that's the best way to live. I always ask Allah too. It's like sometimes I'll make a dua, Allah, this is what I really want. This is what I don't want. But I say, Allah, if you know that something's better, only do what's best for me, even if I'm wishing for it. Let you override that dua with what you know is best for me. That's the type of essence people need to walk in, because sometimes we think we know what we want, and yes, go and strive for that, but Allah may redirect you or put you in a better path. So be open. That's why that conversation with Allah is so, so very important. And, use those gifts that Allah has for you to do here. Everybody is given different decks of cards, but it's all beautiful. We're all going to be judged by the content of our character and our deeds and what we're here doing. So be about action. That's my main takeaway today, is be about action. Tap into your best self. Be close with Allah. Having your relationship with Allah is the best thing. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can take that away from you. Not your family, not your parents, not the president, not the people. You have your relationship. You have that one-on-one relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Honor it. Honor it, because it's one of the most beautiful things. It will carry you through the hardship, the sadness, the chaos. Allah is still Akbar, great no matter what, And in the times of uncertainty, Allah will reveal that to you. And I feel like it'll be easier if you establish that relationship to hear those signs. So that's why I always emphasize that, because Allah may be talking to us, but we haven't really developed that communication, that you may miss the sign. You may miss the opportunity because you haven't really been able to tap into it. So that's my biggest takeaway. I love you all. Thank you guys all for tuning in. You guys can always hit me up through my social media platforms or whatever. If you guys have any questions or need any advice or help with anything, I'm always happy to help. And thank you guys all for being here. It's a community effort. When I'm out here, we all are out here. So I hope you guys were inspired, but thank you guys all for being part of this conversation.
I mean, we thank you. That's what I'm saying. Again, we're grateful to the Creator, grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the glorified, see the Most High, for, allowing us to be here with you and share the same virtual space. Soon as we ease up out of COVID, Creator willing, we want to be in person with you and the rest of our guests that we have had on this platform prior. What I'm saying, and to be in one's physical company once again, Creator willing, real soon. As we close out, just some quick announcements. Don't forget to follow our sister Instagram, Fajr Malika. Again, it's Instagram Fajr Malika. Scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Check her out. Her businesses. We must support the sister.
Absolutely.
Let me get that up there. Okay, Fun Fit Fabulous. Instagram fun.fit.fabulous. Support the sister. They got the health and wellness going. For those who need to get the health and wellness in there, get that motivation, get that spirit. You know what I'm saying? Support the sister in that. And also, college prep for success. Instagram, college prep for success, for all those who are in high school right now, who are, don't know, or may have a clue, may not have a clue, maybe you got a clue where you want to go in life. But regardless of where you're at in life, I always strongly recommend College Prep for Success with Sister Fajr Malika as well. Let me see. Boop 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 boop. Where are we going now?
I'm sending my daughter there. Soon as we sign off. My daughter's a junior, so
mashallah. Wishing her the best. She got it. Just gotta be honest.
Also, no, yeah, definitely. Also, our Patreon, NFX Daily. Please support our Patreon. We're trying to deliver daily digital content to you all. There's several tiers there with perks that come with your tiers. Please give generously. Yes, I'm saying as we support our digital daily digital. Also, the Bilalian Trust, which is very important. That's the cultural heritage project that we are embarking on to digitize a lot of the artifacts and archives that exist in the African American Muslim community. We have several pioneers that we're working with now who have given their materials, they have turned their materials over to us and to preserve and to digitize for them. Not just for them, not just for me, it's not just for Sister Marsha, not just for Deen, not just for Sister Fajr, it's for everybody. It's for everyone's consumption. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to give this information to those who will find benefit, greater willing. So on your receipt of your donation, you will receive our first publication, which was the Human Dignity Series Part 1, which talks about the CRADE movement, the Coalition for the Removal of All Racial Images of the Divine, started in the 1980s by the late teacher, Imam Arfadi Muhammad, may Allah forgive his sins, Graham High Station Journal to Produce. So you will receive that copy based upon whatever you give. Who cares if you give $1, $2, $3, whatever you could afford, no problem. What else we're missing? Any announcements for you, Sister Marsha, that I'm missing?
Well, tomorrow we have Unified Talim.
Oh yes, let me put. Do I have that? No, I don't have that flyer.
You don't have the flyer? Okay.
Uploaded, but we could just say it.
We have a Unified Talim for the New Jersey masjids. We're going to actually be discussing. I don't know if there's a title to it, but we will be sort of discussing the generational divide that does exist in our masjids, and we're going to hear from the younger generations in the masjids, and sort of put some of those solutions that we, as Sister Fajr talked about earlier, not just having complaints, but coming up with some solutions. So you can check out New Freedom Exchange on Facebook. It will be streaming there if you want to get in on the conversation.
Right, and also also on Monday we have our sister Diani Sample, who'll be joining us, a young inspirational speaker and entrepreneur. She'll be joining us on Monday at 5 p.m. here to share her journey as a young inspirational speaker. She's 21, by the way, so she started out young. She's already working in her field. She's an entrepreneur. She helps out young women reach their entrepreneurial dreams, their business. So definitely check us out and hear what she has to offer to all of us on Monday at 5 o'clock. And last but not least, I think is our beloved. We'll be back Sunday, November 8th, with Community Conversations. Topic will be, again, what we're just building off of today: developing the community plan, building family life, avoiding manipulation, and the establishment of economic development. November 8th, our guest host now is with Imam Rashad Abdul Rahman from Atlanta Masjid of Al-Islam, and our special guest, another Howard alumnus. See, we just, Marsha, just keep grabbing HU for you, man. Sharif Abdul Malik from We Buy Black, CEO and founder, will be joining us to be our special guest. But as we close out, Sister Fajr, I can't forget, we will be playing the bean pie commercial that we have. I don't know. Yeah, we'll be playing the bean pie commercial. We got to give you a little taste of what New Freedom Pie has to offer.
We got to show that New Freedom Pie.
A little virtual taste.
I'm open to sampling it.
No, we definitely.
Well, she's in New York, so when we bring it back up, you gotta make sure she gets some.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. I'll make sure because I'm here in New York too. So I'll make sure you get a new Freedom Pie delivered. We want to deliver that to your doorstep. So I'm saying so you can try it. So we don't need a showdown. We're gonna need a showdown with Brother Raouf. We're gonna need a
Yeah,
showdown.
let's do
We're gonna need a
it.
showdown.
We can do a
Who
pie
makes
sampling. I'm down for that.
pie? So as we close, we're gonna close out with that. But Sister Marsha, I'm gonna let you pick the song that we're gonna play after the Bean Pie commercial.
Okay, give me my choices.
We have the Marsha Jones, the councilman Marsha Jones, now running for
I
mayor.
love that one.
The Freedom Joint. So we have Saida Denise, Dying for Love.
I love that one.
And
I love all of them.
Of course, and we have let me see what else we have. We got some joints, man.
Let's do Saida Denise. Like I haven't heard that in a while, and I downloaded that on my phone on Bandcamp. Like sis needs to know. Like I'll be playing her out on my phone.
Yeah. So shout out to Sister Saida Denise. We're definitely going to bring her back. One of our vocalists in the African American Muslim community. Also, I have to load up. We have to load up Sister Taslim Jamila's content as well. She dropped her new album.
Yes.
Go check that out on Spotify right now. It's called Elevate. And Sister Drea Dinor also dropped her album as well. Another vocalist in our community, and we hope to have her on this platform as well to do a listening party. Creator Willing with her and Dr. Rami Nasisibi from Iman, Muslim Action Network. So stay tuned. That'll be coming down the pipe. And without no further ado, we thank you all again for tuning in. Tune in to Freedom Exchange. We appreciate you all. We love you all. Have a safe rest of your Saturday evening and the rest of your weekend. And we will see you all on the flip side, God willing. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
We king of the pies, new flavors on the scene. Started out with the navy bean, I can't make it up, no Maybelline. We had to do for self and get paid the green. Started out with the bean pie. It's a must, gotta eat to live. You gon' see why we them guys. It's kind of new freedom pie. Come taste the secret recipe, secret recipe, secret recipe. Dessert food is our specialty, is our specialty, is our specialty. Your taste buzzing with freedom live. That new freedom pie. Your taste buzzing with freedom live. That new freedom pie.
Y'all see why I was chasing brother man down on Thursday? Oh God, I won't get no beamer. person can't die.